was a typo, and I'm like, all right, welcome to Comics League Dark. I'm Jared, and I played the wrong intro. I just saw that, but all right. You know what? I'll play it.
Silverton, on me.
Lois Lane.
That's why.
You almost escaped from that. Cameron. So today we are talking about. Okay, so here's the thing. Once again, WB is up for sale, and here's the thing. Now, you guys know that Robert and I have been very realistic about SnyderVerse stuff because it's like we don't want to get people's hopes up or our hopes up.
Yep.
But a wild card came into the factor that looks like it's going to happen. I want to be clear on this. And Robert and I were talking about this, and the chances of the SnyderVerse returning, at least as an Elseworlds, went from 45% to like 80% with this.
Yeah, not guaranteed, but much stronger.
So here's what happened. So as you guys know, Wonder Woman's the Bergamus. So as you guys know, so Paramount, Netflix, and
Comcast is one of the other ones talking.
Now here's the thing: the Saudis have offered to back the Paramount bid for WB, and let's be honest, it looks like Zaslav is going to go in the Paramount direction because that would allow because Trump likes the head of Paramount, that helps with regulatory stuff. So it's less of a headache. Now, here's the thing. The Saudis throwing money into this means that with that amount of money involved and Zack's extremely positive relationship with the Saudis, it's making me think something's up, particularly with this combined with the fact that Zack had been posting,
SnyderVerse stuff.
Yeah, Tavia says plus a little Unspace Fast. The actors, I don't think. No, they all want to come back. Well, most of them want to. Let me put it this way: I'm going to do an outline of the actors that I think would come back: Henry, Gal, Jason, Ray. Ben for the Justice League stuff.
Not a solo movie.
Not Ezra and not Jared. Absolutely not.
Yeah, Jared. I think Tron would debunk anything. I think even Zack would have to admit,
yeah, and Ezra for obvious reasons.
Yep.
But the other thing that has me thinking this is all in there. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, a lot of them are jumping the shark, but there are a lot of them that are look, this is the opportunity. Again, Robert, I said it went from 40% to 80%. It's much more likely than it was before. Much more.
Now, what are the odds of this replacing the Gunverse? Oh, still low.
No. Okay, so let me be clear. Here's what would happen. Let's assume all of this happens and we get what we want. It would be a Gunverse on one side, SnyderVerse on the other. The Gunverse thing would have to completely monetarily collapse and start bombing in order for them to actually say, okay, we're done with that. But the point is, the most likely scenario is we get both.
With probably Gunn overseeing how the SnyderVerse does still.
Well, yeah, because he's still the head of DC Studios, but...
Because here's the thing. Here's why we say this. What just happened a few weeks ago?
The EA being bought by...
Oh, no. I'm talking about what's WB. Who got their contract renewed very recently?
Zaslav.
Till 2030. Why would he do that if he was planning on selling and moving on?
Not only that, here's the other thing with that. And by the way, Tevia, with this money, this is when live action is definitely on the table.
Not guaranteed, because it all depends on, getting stuff arranged, but more than likely.
Well, let me put it this way. Money is not an issue if this goes through.
Yeah, because here's the thing we have to remember. It's the Saudis backing Paramount, not unlike EA, where it's the Saudis bailing out EA.
Yeah, they do not, under any circumstances, necessarily exert a massive control.
Here's the thing. Do we think that they're going to have as much of the censoring as what they're going to do to EA? Probably not. They're for example, they'll probably not just say, get rid of Dreamer or anything like that. They're not going to be that controlling.
Yeah, exactly. And Barry, as a joke, they're not going to say bring back Kid John. They'd probably just get rid of John and period if they were going to do that. I want to be clear. But the point is with this, it's that's the interesting thing about this whole scenario. Because now, again, it all depends on if the actors want to come back. But again, it's it's combined with the fact that Zack has also been posting a lot of pictures of the SnyderVerse, particularly he posted Mira today. So NJ, it's likely not going to be Universal. It's going to be Paramount.
Yep. And here's the other thing. Like I said, the fact that Zaslav is sticking till 2030 tells me he doesn't want to just sell it and run. He wants to ensure his legacy is intact. The last thing he would want to be is shake hands as soon as he leaves. Okay, blow it. Let's rebuild this thing. No, he wants to make sure what he had set up stays intact.
Here's the other interesting thing. So I was watching a podcast today, and what they were talking about this and why Netflix is not likely. Here's the main reason why they think Netflix is not likely. So Netflix is only interested in part of WB, the streaming and stuff. So their point was, and this is a good point, why would Zaslav want to sell part but still be stuck with stuff he wants to offload? So it's no, they're not going to do that. But yeah, and Cameron brings up a good point. This is the best option, because if we have both, that could get people that were against it on board. And it could be that way you have an alternative. You give the people options. And Dave, I'm not in favor of Grant becoming the Flash. No, not for the DC. Because that would confuse audiences.
Here's the thing.
Is this part of the CW?
Here's the thing. People keep on saying, oh, they're not going to be able to tell the difference. So long as you keep drastically different actors, it can. Once you have same actors across the incarnation, which is the problem, the argument always made against the Madison is in the DCU people, because that will confuse people.
Yeah, exactly. and if they cast Grant as the DCEU Flash, all of a sudden people will be wondering, is this part of the CW?
Exactly. But like I said, I keep going back to Zaslav, because that's the whole thing. If he's sticking around, he ain't going to cut off Gunn.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the way it stands. And he's going to make, basically, he's clearly sticking around to transition things.
Yeah, and NJ, no, I know it's not confirmed, but that's the one that's the most likely to go with, because of the money offer that Paramount's going to be able to offer WB, particularly with the Saudi backing.
Yeah, and because everyone is trying to spin this as, oh, it's the Saudis. They're going to just kick out Gunn and praise up. And Zack was Zack doesn't want Gunn's job.
No, he never wanted that. Zack and Deborah
Gunn
Snyder,
barely wanted it.
Yeah, Zack and Deborah Snyder never wanted to be in charge of WB or of DC. They
probably wanted some creative control in their own movies, but not be the oversight of everything.
No, they never wanted that. That's why Zack was letting a lot of other creatives come in and do whatever they wanted to do with their movies. That's it.
Now, did he help out with Wonder Woman and Aquaman? Yes, but that doesn't mean that he wanted to be the grand overseer.
Well, remember, he had to get involved with at least Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman was a prequel.
Yeah, exactly.
He had to make sure, okay, she has to be somewhat in this direction, but so she leads into BVS easier.
Now, from what I understand with Aquaman, the initial version was much closer to what Zack was doing. But then Juan wanted to do something different, but he still showed it to Zack to get his approval.
Yeah, and Zach said, yeah, it still fits. It still fits with the arc that Arthur's gonna go through. All right, Tevia says, does this mean for Transformers? Do you think they'll do a crossover?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine the Batmobile becoming
Now,
a Transformer?
here's the biggest thing of all. Will this mean the end for WB, or will Paramount just be like, we're together, but they can still operate on their own? Because from what I heard, Paramount did say to try and alleviate some of the concerns from the Writers Guild, this is not going to be like Fox, where you went from 10 movies from 5 movies from 2 different studios to just 5 movies from 1 studio. He's saying, no, it's still going to be 5 movies from both studios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the point, though, because here's the other thing about that about the WB name. It's legendary in the film world. You can't just get rid of that.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately for Fox had lost a lot of its prestige by the time it was bought.
And Dave brings up that Barry Keoghan looks like Ezra Miller, and he's already worked with DC as the Joker and the Batman. Could we both? Just like Momoa's Aquaman and Lobo. I could actually see him playing the Flash. That works.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, but that's where we're standing. Oh, wait, what?
And here's the thing. So with the amount of money, now here's I want to clarify something. The arc for Ben Affleck's Batman is he dies at the end of Justice League 2. I have to say that because of what I'm about to say. And Cameron, with the amount of money, this could lead to an expansion beyond the Justice League movie. So you could get an actual Man of Steel 2. Maybe not necessarily following the same plot, because that looks like that's what Man of Tomorrow is, but you would get a sequel to that story modified and such.
Exactly. But yeah, and let's also make this clear. If the SnyderVerse and DC universe are not the deciding factor for this agreement, like some people are trying to make it out to be.
No, it's not. I'm sure that they would have a conversation. It's like, hey, they would probably say, "Hey, Zach, we just bought WB. Do you want to complete your story?" Sure.
And they'll probably talk it over with Gunn still and Zaslav.
Yeah, exactly. So it's they would have to. So it's like, okay, fine. They're like, what do we need to do in order to complete this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All this is the money's going to allow Paramount to be able to buy it up, and as they keep on telling us, if they stay true to their word anyway, again, they could backstab everything in the end. And because look at what happened with Microsoft and Activision.
Yeah.
But it could be a
case. And Tevia, we said that it would just be for Justice League.
Yeah. But yeah, so far if they say it's true, Warner Bros. Will still operate independently.
Yeah, exactly. Dave says that Amber Heard would have to be recast as well. Zack Snyder might like her, but she's too radioactive with the public.
Nah, to be fair, she really it's been quiet for a while.
Yeah, I could kind of see that. So it's like,
if people are starting to accept Gina Carano back.
Yeah, it's like she hasn't done a lot to shake things up. So I'm like, okay.
You have some people trying to bring it up, like remember what happened, but for the most part.
Yeah, exactly.
And hey, she's still a good actress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that's the very interesting part. So we could, and remember when I said that we wouldn't get a Nightmare movie and stuff? No, we would get the original conclusion to the universe. So that's the key thing here. This significantly expands it.
Exactly.
Because there's no longer a money problem if this holds true.
Right. Now, like we said, there are people like Cosmic Book and everything trying to spin it as, oh, yeah, they do want it. Like, everything's banking on Zach. It's like, guys, say what you will about Zach. He's not the end-all, be-all to be the one thing that lynches everything, the linchpin of everything.
No, and I'm sure they've had conversations about this, like, hey, could we do this? But no, it's not like you give us Zack Snyder or we're definitely not doing it. No, absolutely not.
I mean, again, maybe it falls and they don't do the SnyderVerse. Again, it goes up to 80%, but they're still going to have Zaslav, Gunn, and others involved in the talks.
Yeah, like this way, there's still a 20% chance this doesn't happen. However, again, it's like the fact that Zack has such a close relationship with the Saudis, and they would at least be able to, they can even say, hey, we'll finance them if you want to premiere the movies and maybe film them in Saudi Arabia. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cameron says, I just hope that this means both franchises can come together and enjoy. Well, yeah, you're going to have people that are a-holes about it, but this also has the other thing, because I've seen people talk about this and they're like, I would be so much more in favor of this if it was like an option, if this was another world. And it's like, okay, if I don't like that, I can go to James Gunn's DCU.
Take full, and we can finally decide once and for all which one will outsell the other.
Yeah, exactly. That would be hilarious.
Without having to count people just making be like, oh, I got nothing else, I'll just go with this one. You remove that from the equation.
Yeah, exactly. And that would be the fun. That would be the cool part. And then Dave says, I don't know, she was villainized in one of the most.
But how long ago?
How long ago again?
Wasn't that almost not 10 years ago? Was it?
I don't remember.
No, it can't be 10 because Tristan's channel is almost 6 years old and she worked on it. So around 4 or 5 years ago.
And and I've heard nothing about
aside from channels who keep trying to drag things up.
Yeah. So really, what I think is like, that's the one where I'm like, let me put it this way: WB could say we don't want to risk it. However, it's less of a no than like Ezra and Jared.
Oh yeah, Jared's proven he's toxic.
Yeah, there's no way they go with that.
After Tron Ares, which he wasn't bad in. That was probably one of his better performances.
Yeah, exactly. And just says, man, this would be so confusing. Not even funny. I don't know. It could. No, it's not gonna be confusing because you have. And here's the other part about this. Here's why this wouldn't be confusing. You have two vastly different tones in the DCU and the DCEU, because you have the darker, more grounded SnyderVerse, and then you have like the more fantastical Gunverse. There you go. You have two vastly different actors.
And here's the other thing as well. We already know they're taking this type of things into consideration, because why else would they make the Elseworld line? It wasn't made just for the Batman.
And Gunn even said that, yeah, if Zack wanted to come back, I'd allow him to do it.
But and that's the reason. Probably the reason why Zack wouldn't, because he knows he needs more money for it and not enough to, convince them.
Yeah, exactly. And NJ, I just want to bring up one thing. This also makes it likely we could get a third Wonder Woman movie with Gal.
Would it be with Patty? Who knows?
The Patty part, I'm like, I don't see that happening, honestly.
Unless Gal is one who says she'll come back for Patty.
Yeah, that's the only way I see it, because after 1984...
Well, Gal hasn't said much bad about it, though, if I recall.
No, but in terms of WB, because of how much 1984 cost them.
That's true.
Dave says, my idea, it returns as the 2 seasons of a streaming show called Just League Apocalypse. The show would encompass Just League 2 and 3 and all the uncanceled movies episodes. But you would have to condense the movies into episodes. So
unless they're 1 hour episodes.
Yeah, that you could probably work. Yeah.
Because if it's a streaming show, it would be an hour.
Yeah, and then Timo says it would be funny if Netflix bought it and decided to finish. Netflix is not going to have the option because, again, they only want part of the company. They don't want everything Zaslav is selling. Why is he going to sell it if then he has to do another sale after that?
And here's one other thing people have to keep in mind. Just because the Saudis are backing it does not mean they're now going to be connected to EA. That's 2 different things.
And here's the thing, because I know my audience is going to ask this. What does this mean for DC Comics? Now,
nothing.
Yeah, I highly doubt it'll be that bad, because it's like, look, the companies, they don't care a lot about now what this could lead to is maybe because the Saudis want the DC brand, could be they start infusing more into DC Comics and in terms of resources and money, so maybe DC can do more stuff. Maybe.
Now here's the other thing though. Unlike EA, where you're buying just the game company, it's just the game company. You have direct control of the games. You're having a whole media company, so the comics are lower on the totem pole. For all we know, the Saudis might even be like, we'll focus on what's really driving the public, not this niche thing.
Yeah, exactly. And Jay Heat's here.
Flame
Hitman!
on. How's everybody?
Hey, so what
Yeah,
do
you
you
do.
think about this news?
Yeah,
Take it with a
Jay.
very grain of salt. Now, okay. Anything DCU, anything on the movie side, take with a grain of salt because this deal has not gone through.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just that Saudi Arabia has the biggest bid right now. That's the only thing that's being said.
Now, Jay, let's remember this though. It's the Saudis giving money to Paramount. It's not just the Saudis on their own.
Yeah, they wouldn't like own everything.
They're doing it through. And Paramount is using the Saudis to be able to afford all that money for it.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be something where it'll be Paramount doing it, and the Saudis are giving a bigger chunk of the pie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And again, it's and by NJ says would Gal be back without Patty? That was the one where I'm like, I feel like
For Zack, yes.
Let me put it this way: anyone that could come back for Zack will do it. I guarantee that.
But for a solo Wonder Woman movie, she might rely on Patty.
She might rely on, and you know what? As long as they put oversight on Patty, yes.
The weakest links are going to be Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller, hands down.
No, well,
Jared Leto.
It's more Jared and Ezra because Ray's back, so Ray would come back for Zack 100%.
And they don't have, and the people he badmouths aren't there.
Either that or would not be in his chain of command, i.e., Hamada.
Now here's something else, Jay Heath. It was just announced a little while ago that Zaslav will stick around to 2030. Why would, though that tells us he's going to at least oversee and probably make sure his legacy isn't blown up to be and being replaced. Would you agree with that?
Basically, he'll do an extension as a transition. He won't leave right away, assuming a hypothetical deal goes through.
And he'll probably make sure things are still like, again, like, oh, they're just going to come in and fire gun and do all this other stuff. Like, hey, whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah. All right, Dave brings up a good point. And
sorry, I hate to cut. If that were even remotely true, Kathleen Kennedy would have been kicked to the curb a decade ago.
There you go. Dave and Cameron keep asking if Jared Leto could be saved with a good script. Yes, exactly. He can. And then Dave says, I think Jared Leto would be fine as supporting role like the Joker. Audiences mock him and won't accept him as a leading man, but he was never hated like Ezra and Amber. That is true, though.
That is true. That is true.
That is very true. He didn't have the level of hate. Joking is better than hatred.
That's true, but let's also be honest, though. You do know studios are just going to look at him as just toxic in general, regardless of being leading or not at the moment. It's going to have to take a few years for that stink to come off.
Yeah, and Timo says if there's ever a sequel to Snyder's League, I'd like to see the idea from The Flash where Zoom caused all the events. Yeah, that was like the big point of the SnyderVerse was like at the end, the last movie's Flashpoint. It was revealed that thank you, Jay Heath. It was revealed that it was Reverse Flash screwing with everyone's lives. Like the implication is he could be the one that made the tornado in Man of Steel.
Yeah, but
that's actually really cool. And then Dave says, it feels like Gal was distancing herself from Patty Jenkins anyway. I don't know. Could be.
I don't think so.
New question. If the Cyberverse does come back, let's go with
theaters.
Theaters. No,
Really?
no. Not. I think it'll go. I think it'll go be in theaters, at least partially in theaters.
Streaming would be the safer choice.
What do you think, Robert?
I think the main movie, I think it'll be following a similar thing to the DCU.
Yeah, where
The limited theatrical run and then straight to streaming. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but you might have some spin-off projects that are straight to streaming.
Yeah, like let's say if they wanted to do like Man of Steel 2, I could see that going to streaming. Wonder Woman 3. Well, yeah, there's any number of things I could see happening.
Here's something I see happening. I think if this happens, Gunn would just simply be like, hey, Zach, I'll help you out if you can, work out ideas, but here's basically like the keys to your car. Well, I got the bigger car.
Yeah, exactly. It's you can do your stuff over here. Just make sure it doesn't interfere with my stuff. Yeah.
And I'll help you out. Maybe we can work together. Maybe build up to a crossover.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. If we get two universes, we could see a Crisis on Two Earths.
DCKO!
No.
Too soon.
Wait,
I don't.
It's gonna be good.
No, dude, I'm just saying that's a comparison to main DC versus Absolute.
Yeah, exactly. TMO says, "Do you believe in the continuation of the SnyderVerse?" Yes. Most likely, Sony will make Spider-Man 4 with Maguire and Spider-Man 3 with Garfield, and in theory, they can do
Spider-Man 4 is way more realistic than Amazing Spider-Man 3. I'm just gonna
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. They totally torpedoed all chance of Amazing Spider-Man 3 with how 2 went.
Yeah. NJ, no, I don't see him stealing Baby Cal because the idea is that the events in the main movies, like Man of Steel, BVS stuff, the reason why the world's so much darker is because to screw with Barry, Earbart has been going throughout history, screwing with everyone else. That's something Earbart would totally do.
Yep.
And Tevi says, speaking of Paramount buying Warner Brothers, will this mean? No, see, the Batgirl thing is. Here's the problem with that, Tevia. Here's the problem with that, Tevia. Saffron himself said the movie was unreleasable as well. That's the problem.
Yeah, if everyone else is saying it's unreleasable, I know people involved with it will say it's great, but it's like, of course you're biased.
You're biased, yeah. But it's like if everyone that like authorizes it keeps saying no, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
I will say this. Unless the Saudis say release it, which I doubt.
I really doubt they would care.
Yep. But and now again if we go by what Paramount has said, like I said before, and I'm asking Jay Heat this.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're going to be true to their word and what they've been assuring the Writers Guild? Like, don't worry, it's not going to be like with Fox where we went from 2 studios doing 5 movies to just 1 studio doing 5 movies. Warner Bros. Could still operate independently. Do you think that's going to happen with this? Like they're being sincere?
Somewhat, because they do pay, because you also, it's not just in terms of fandom and content, you also got to look at this from a business standpoint. More MCU, Disney, Star Wars especially, but that's a topic for a different stream. They've been in the gutter for the past 5 to 7 years. The last time Star Wars had genuine momentum was with the Ahsoka series, and even then, the fact that you had the Admiral Thrawn trilogy, the closest thing outside the movie Star Wars had to a masterpiece, and you barely. If you want to give Ahsoka as a creator's pet, fine. You want to give her more to do after Rebels, absolutely.
Jay,
if you're going to use de-aging technology to mimic Prime Luke Skywalker, use it.
No, Jay, I get that, but what I was asking about was how the Disney thing was. They bought out Fox.
Sorry, I was losing my larger point. Okay, fair enough. But sorry that quick tangent. But to make it a long story short.
Too late.
Essentially, Marvel has been doing a lot of bad business dealings in terms of structuring and production costs, and that's why we've been getting such lackluster quality Phase 4 onward.
Well, I'm not talking about the quality though, Jade. I'm talking about the number of movies. That was the Writer Guild's problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Quality over quantity. That's what quantity over quality. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
And I'm trying to say that it's a mixed bag because on one hand, I could see if they're actually paying attention with what Marvel was doing. Yeah, maybe we can rein some of that in. But I also see like, hey, we're trying to build some. I just don't want them to fall into the same trap they did back in 2016 is what I'm saying.
No, well, I understand that. But what I'm saying, though, is you had 2 studios. Originally, just 2 studios, Fox and Disney. They would do 5 movies a year. Okay. Once Disney bought out Fox, it was just Disney's 5 movies. Meaning the Writers Guild was claiming we lost a lot of productions. It hurt Hollywood. But Paramount is claiming Warner Brothers will still be able to operate independent. They can still do 5. We can still do 5. Do you think that's going to happen?
It just depends on which project we're talking about. If we're talking about anything non-DC, then yes.
All right.
Anything non-DC, that is fair game. But if we're talking DC IPs like Batman, Superman, the Justice League specifically...
Oh, no. I'm talking about overall movies.
Okay, thank you.
I'm talking about overall movie productions.
Yes.
Because most studios do 5 movies a year.
Yes. Anything non-DC, another studio... It'll still be in-house, but another studio will handle that.
All right.
That's what Warner Brothers has largely done for the most part. They never outsource. But they do splinter off and collab with multiple studios.
Right. Whereas Disney, they kept it all in-house, and that's why it went from, again, you lost a studio doing 5 movies a year.
With the exception of Pixar when they branched out.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, but that's because they've been with Disney already.
Yeah, exactly. But real quick, I just want to do a little self promo. So I'm going to play the trailer for Athena as a little commercial break. So we'll be back in half a minute.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Sintragar, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.
And we're back. So, but yeah, it's like that's the thing, and to like reorient this back to DC, it's like because to more like what's actually really cool is that on that actually with the multiple DC projects released, it could lead to more production. So
yeah,
that satisfies that. But yeah, it's like the thing about the and again, I want to echo what Robert says, because what you have to understand, guys, is that unless because here's the thing. Okay, Superman did not like wait, does Paramount have conservative policy? If so, that's bad news for no, it's A, no, it's not, and B, I have yet to see if that even factors into their programming. Don't assume because of the values of the CEO that automatically goes down to the actual people working there.
exactly.
That's what I'm going to say there. But it's so that's like the point I want to say that. And the Disney Star Wars film should have followed the Yu Zhen Vong. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? But yeah, it's like, look, it's like Superman, the gun movie did well enough for them to continue on.
Despite what some people are claiming, they can't lie to their stockholders.
Not to mention, they'll make them any remainder or dividend they'll make back in merchandise. It's Superman.
Yeah, but my big thing is, of course, they told the shareholders we made a profit. They legally cannot lie to them.
Yeah, exactly. And then look, it's like this is what's gonna. It's like. So that's why they're because if Superman bombed, there's no way they would have kept Gunn. There would have been any There's no way that like Paramount would have even said, "Okay, we're going to keep the entire all of the executives." There's no way.
I will say this: I could see what that because of how Superman did, it might be why they're adding a few more scenes into Supergirl.
Yeah, exactly. To kind of tie it in and make it more like cohesive, if you will.
Yeah,
because news Lanterns got delayed. Sorry, quick tangent.
Yeah,
but probably because they're waiting to see what happens with the buyout.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, that could definitely be that, because it could be the buyout comes in. They're like, okay, we want to deprioritize a few things, so it's not necessarily they'll cancel Lanterns, but they'll be like, let's get rid of a lot of connections and stuff, and maybe we want to do this as more of like a like. Once a like separate projects thing.
Perhaps, yeah.
Who knows? And then Dave also brings up that Paramount just canceled the Last Ronin movie, which was developed as a legacy sequel to the 90s. Here's the problem with that. It's like, yeah, The Last Ronin's a great comic and everything like that. Everyone's freaking out about it. I could see why they wanted to cancel it, because TMNT, as opposed to DC, is more known nowadays as like a, for lack of a better term, kids brand, and you can't do Last Ronin with that.
And also, I think it's also the case of the iron cooled off too fast.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the other thing. The iron cooled off way too fast, so they're like, you know what? We should have done it a bit sooner.
Not to mention the new movie spinoff, that's pretty much dead. It's pretty much going to be shelved after season 2.
No, they already said that show is going to be 2 seasons before then it leads into the movie.
Okay, thank you for confirming that. But and then even before that, well, TMNT, I never saw Rise specifically. I kind of aged out of the demographic during that time. I never saw Rise, but me personally, the best TMNT adaptation for me was TMNT 03.
Yep.
03 in 2012.
The 4 kids version.
2012 is a love letter to the original series, in 87 series. Don't get me wrong. But there's just something nostalgic and something vibrant about 03. From the very theme song alone, you just had to be there. It's the one thing 4 kids got right. Like,
I will say this though. Laird's disgust for the 80s cartoon showed in Turtles Forever.
Yeah.
And people involved actually said they actually wanted to go watch the 5-part pilot, the best writing of the original cartoon. And Laird and they wanted to send it over to the animators. Laird said no. He wanted to give them the crappy stuff.
Yeah, but the other thing is, no, I know the kids aren't, but according to the executives, they are.
It's a kid's brand at the end of the day.
Man, you need to understand this. That's
It was a surprise that they greenlit in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. That's like if they decided to make there's a huge consumer demand for Ninja Turtles merchandise and products. No, I know that, but for the very adult Dark Knight Returns inspired story,
there's no way you'll be able to.
R-rated.
Yeah, there's
either
no
R-rated
way.
or teen for teen. You could get away with a teen for teen, but you would have to heavily dilute and censor the story. You would have to tone it down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why as it applies to the Turtles, particularly with like the Ooze movie that came out, the SnyderVerse inspired movie that came out. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's like going to like
too far in the opposite direction.
Now, to answer Tavio's question, do I think the game will be canceled? I don't think so. That's a different thing. You can still do the game.
Yeah, exactly. Games are different than movies. They're separate.
Now, okay, did we talk about the Super Sentai rebranding recently? Because okay, we never talked about that. I thought we did.
It's not really something I really cover on the channel, though.
Fair enough.
No, I understand that. But again, approaching this like the executives, it's like it's a brand. There are plenty of kids brands that adults collect as well. I got news for you, people.
Now, if Last Ronin came out in the 2000s, they would have adapted that almost immediately.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hands down.
I love the 80s TMNT cartoon, but that was like the Adam West show compared to 2003. Yeah, 2003 was great. They've already given us several children adaptations, but the money. No, how do you know that? How do you know the money's in the adult versions?
Now, if we're talking about TMNT 03 specifically, I would, and you know why TMNT 03 never gets referenced? Because its production team was non-union. That's the only reason.
And by the way, we gotta remember this: they put Ninja Turtles under their Nickelodeon brand.
That is true.
You cannot do a R-rated Nickelodeon project. You're never going to have R-rated Ben 10. However cool that would be.
No, well, that's Cartoon Network, and they probably could.
Well, they're both under Viacom, so same argument.
Mm-hmm. No, Ben 10 is Warner Brothers.
But they both distribute via Viacom. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they are?
No. Okay, Turner, I know that, but here's what you have to understand. You're not all the people that buy his product. According to WB, this is the way. Or according to whoever owns the Ninja Turtles, this is the way that they identify with them. This is the audience that they identify with the brand.
And Turner, it's like this. Power Rangers has been around for 30 years. Yes, they started doing towards the end more stuff that catered to some of the fans, but it was still done with kids in mind first and foremost.
Yeah, that's what you have to understand there. And then
sorry, we might as well talk about this now. Okay, say what you will about the Neo Saban era, like Samurai Megaforce. Neo Saban era was bad. It was atrocious. There's no refuting that.
Except towards the end.
But at the end of the day, Power Rangers, especially if you're not going to get the same. It's like SpongeBob, really. You're not going to hit those 90s, 1992 to 1995 iconic MMPR numbers. That franchise is never going to hit that tier again. No matter how much you try to call back, no matter how much you reference it with a theme song, you are never going to hit those numbers. Now, if you're willing to accept that and still make relative content anyway, you could at least get something decent.
Real quick, Turner, how do you know their larger consumer interest is adults? How do you know that?
It's not really. Turtles are one of the things that still get kids, just like dinosaurs do. That's the thing. Look at Minecraft. Minecraft was not made for adults in mind. It was made for kids, and that's why it dominated.
Yeah, and going back to your previous comment about you being adult and emotionally invested, then that's fine. I accept that. But it's like you can't assume that you represent the majority of the fan base.
And Turner, I'm in the same boat. I grew up with the Turtles. I'm 40. I do not see myself as representing the majority of fans. Mm-hmm. Because Turtles is a brand that still gets kids coming in. It's not like Power Rangers that did kind of fizzle a little. Mm-hmm.
Do you think Shredder's too violent? It depends on how you do Shredder, but
depends.
You can make him kid friendly. You can make him.
I'll say this: I don't think we're ever going to get the "Give me back my Comanche." We're not going to get the '80s whiner.
No.
Still felt like a Commander Cobra ripoff, and I will die on that hill.
Go ninja, go ninja,
go.
Exactly. But that's the point there, and that's why I always tell people: don't assume unless you have hard data that you are the majority, that you speak for the majority.
Because let me put it this way: if it was true, IDW Ninja Turtle comics would be outselling everything.
Yeah, and you could go off, and if you're going off of comic book sales of Last Ronin, again, that doesn't translate to. It's very rare that comic book stuff translates to movie sales.
Because also the follow-up didn't continue the trend.
No, it didn't.
Wait, Last Ronin got a sequel?
Oh, it got an interquel, a prequel sequel, and a full-on sequel, and there's a third one in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they just ran that into the ground. That's why.
They did pretty good with it.
Parker says, just out of curiosity, because this question is genuine. Yeah. How would you guys make an adult TMNT show or movie if you guys were to do such a thing?
Follow the original comics.
Yeah, just go off of the original. The original comics are very.
Let me play this. Follow the original movie. The original movie is the perfect balance.
Yeah, exactly. And you, kids have so many other IPs. They don't, bro. I get that, but again, it's too much of a kid's IP. They're not. It's too much.
They're not going to burn the bridge.
They're not. They're never going to burn that bridge, man.
I'm sorry. I gotta go to NJ's comment for a second. You have no idea the amount of menace and gravitas. Not the most accurate Shredder depiction. That's 2012 Shredder, hands down. But Trump Shredder is a masterclass. Finesse and villainy. He almost rivals Ozai for Atla. Almost.
I will say this. Again, him and Turtles Forever, when he finally went mad, it's like, when he realized I'm always destined to lose.
He don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, he was ready to destroy everything.
Do you think if TMNT had successful adult skewing movies in 2000s like the Transformers did, would that be different?
Maybe. I don't think so.
It says they can make a Dawn of the Planet of the Apes style Splinter Shredder live action origin story. No one would go see it though.
No.
If people go see Turtles because of the Turtles.
Wait,
the Turtles are the kids'
Planet of the Apes now? Like seriously?
Well, the last movie did pretty decent.
And then Tevia says, if it was adapted in an animated movie, it would sell gangbusters. Not gangbusters, but it would sell, I think.
Ronin is.
I do think it would sell.
It would sell, but at the very least, Last Ronin is a dark story, and the only way you could, with the current market as of this stream, the only way you could pull it off within a PG-13 or TV-14 rating is if you heavily tone it down.
I want to say this one other thing to Turner.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why Turtles is still doing so well is because you have the adults and the kids, especially the kids.
You can't lose the kid audience. You just can't.
And say what you will, even the stuff that's done for kids it still has at least enough interest to attract the adults to check it out. Maybe not stick around, but check it out. That's not what flexibility is for. Yeah, it's not but you don't want to go the extreme of alienating or cutting off and preventing the kids from seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. You really, and here's the other thing, Turner. Here's what you have to understand about fandom. The minute you make a dark TMNT thing, Robert knows I'm right with what I'm going to say. You're going to have the comments on Twitter is going to be, they made TMNT all dark and dreary and dismal and grim dark.
They Snydered it.
Yeah, exactly. You know that's what they're going to say.
Or you go too far in the opposite direction and it's too campy. Oh, it's so woke now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
I got to say, April O'Neil is, yes.
Yeah, well, depends on when she's a reporter.
Nope. I agree that perfectly. And you know what? NJ,
Okay.
NJ, you get this. I had to.
All right. Does that include Mutant Mayhem, April?
Yeah. So.
Really? Wait. Really?
Yes. Dave says it's funny how TMNT started as a bloody, violent adult comic book, but now it's more because it got all those animated shows that were so big. Turtle Mania is when it became a kid brand.
Now, to be fair, does the cartoon hold up? No, except for the first season, the opening 5-part pilot. It doesn't hold up.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much a Saturday morning cartoon. Now, if we're talking about, okay, first of all, the fact that Transformers 1 flopped is a travesty. That's what I want.
You know why? It's purely because of that stupid that first trailer that made it out like a Pixar movie. And when you watch that movie, J.E., is that a Pixar movie?
No, it is not.
No. Okay, wait.
Tear someone in half.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, that's not saying Pixar movies are bad.
No, but it's like they made it out to be like a joke. I showed that movie to Britt, and when I explained to her the marketing, she goes, "The hell happened?"
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's what I want to know.
Because in context, the story for Transformers 1 is pretty dark in context. I get that's why the higher ups wanted to tone it down in the marketing. But y'all went too far with it. You completely tried to rebrand the movie at the 11th hour, and nobody was interested.
Yeah, yep, yeah. And here's the other thing. I will not say that Bay's Transformers were for adults. They clearly weren't.
No, edgy teenagers. Let's call it
exactly, which is again the middle ground.
Turner says, I understand the Turtles getting the Sonic style treatment, but do you all think the Turtles would hold up with Sonic's director?
I don't know if he's a fan.
Yeah, that's the difference because the Sonic director is a fan of Sonic.
Yeah, he worked. Is there?
He worked on the cinematics for the Shadow game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, hold on. Wait, yeah, that's the 20th anniversary of that game this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, the Mutant Mayhem was good. So was like good, and well, let me put it successful. It was successful. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's all right.
For a SnyderVerse version of there's a clear conflict of interest. What are you talking about?
Please go into detail, Turner. Please.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, the Bayverse. How many explosions can I add? And then they just said yes. Yeah, can you give Devastator a scrotum?
I'm beneath. Or Bumblebee, stop lubricating on the human.
Stop lubricating the man. It didn't help how Transformers.
And now we're demonetized.
Childish. Yeah, that is very true. But they were going more for the classic blocky design of like the G1 characters. That's why it went like that. But I can understand how that would be perceived as such, particularly in a post-Bayverse world.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't it kind of funny how there's a possibility that Zack Snyder's coming back, and then it's like there's a strong possibility that Michael Bay is coming back to Transformers.
No, that's not a possibility. That was confirmed.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Lord Megatron, we must retreat. I'm sorry. I'm too good with these voices.
Wait. Sonic's director loved Sonic's, like Gunn's director loves Peace. Imagine what he would do. But he's not. We don't know if he's a fan of the Turtles. That's what we just said.
We don't know. He's never said anything about the Turtles.
Yeah, if someone asks him about things, he goes, "Yeah, I like the Turtles. I would love to do that movie." Fine, you have something there, but he's not really that big of a fan in that.
Exactly. But by the way, you failed me yet again, Starscream.
Oh,
Get them.
And Prime was the best version of
Transformers Prime had no right being as good as it was.
It is the best modern Transformers show they have never returned to that level of peakness.
I still
ever.
say Armada is better, but I will admit
Armada
Prime
is better, but I'm thinking of the modern shows that we've gotten since Armada happened. Perfect.
I mean, Starscream alone carried Armada.
Oh, yeah.
Let's call it for what it is.
Yep,
Like,
and
Armada was a masterpiece.
now I want to say this was Prime. Frank Welker giving a very different performance as Megatron. Hello?
Oh, he had to step out for a second. Technical difficulties, ladies and
Sorry.
gentlemen.
Keep talking.
All right, but would I just, Jay He, would you agree with that? His performance, Frank Welker's performance as Megatron was superior to his G1 performance.
Yes. Even I have to admit that.
And especially the character journey they put him through. But then, I'll be honest, I prefer Frank Welker's second Megatron over Corey Burton in Armada.
Yeah, fair point.
I mean, nothing against Corey Burton. Corey Burton has done Cobra Commander and Megatron.
Now, let me and then Turner says that they should give Johnny Likens the Turtles.
He did that trailer short
to everyone. They don't give it to everyone.
Yeah, let me go this way. Sonic they got lucky.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah.
So I wanted to say, back to Transformers, because all right,
Please.
We're going on the Transformers tangent, might as well, but it's like the thing about the part that always kind of humored me about Armada is when they reformatted everyone to like Thundercracker, Galvatron. Megatron's the only one who took a new name. Starscream, even though the action figure is called Thundercracker, he's still Starscream.
All right, which one was Armada? Was that one of the animes?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was one
Okay.
It was
Okay.
the first anime one.
The first
All right.
anime one.
Right. That was the one with David Kay as Megatron and
Yeah.
Gary Chalky.
Many cons, yeah.
And the mini cons.
Okay.
That's the one with
The
Hot Shot
CGI,
instead
the
of Bumblebee.
CGI does not hold up, but the story is fantastic.
I would say but then when you add in the other two as the part of the trilogy, it then goes down.
Yeah. Oh, Jay, the last battle between Optimus and Galvatron. Oh,
Tell me this, why did they decide to try and Robotech those three Transformers series and to make them one cohesive whole? Especially Unicron.
That's the funny part. Armada and Energon, fine because they do like reference each other. Cybertron, it reboots the whole thing.
Yeah,
And yet they try to shoehorn it.
Like what?
probably in synergy with the War for Cybertron game,
Probably.
which was pretty. Let's be honest. Fred
Tascadera's Megatron was also really good.
Coronation Starscream.
Coronation Starscream. This is bad comedy.
You know what's the Transformers show that I dislike the most?
What?
Transformers Animated.
Really?
The sub is better. The
It's-
Japanese sub is better.
Yeah, it's way too cartoony for me. I'm like, nah.
David Kay as Optimus.
No, I know, but it's like, no.
And come on, you had Weird Al as the Junkion, Wreck-Gar.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't mean it's good. I speak of the franchise. Do you think Voltron Netflix show is underrated?
I prefer the original 90s show, to be honest. But if I didn't the 90s show get a sequel on Nicktoons in the 2000s?
Voltron, that was a separate series with a similar theme, the Cars one, that got was also dubbed. They had it connected, and then they actually paid to make an original movie that had the two meet. That was one of those first cases of, hey, we'll pay Japan to make something new and original.
Mm-hmm.
Well before the U2 Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Jay, he knows what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, even to this day, people debate, like, instead of commissioning extra Zoo Ranger footage, we could just adapt Die Ranger, even Die Ranger.
What they eventually did.
They did, but you got the Thunder Zords out of it. But realistically, I'm just saying, the time, limited budget, technology, all that.
And they were still learning how to do this.
all of that. The most you would have unless you're willing to drag, similar to what you did with Zeo Quest, and just drag it out, you only would have gotten a couple of episodes with the Die Ranger suits at best.
Jared, you got to double check. How much of a Power Ranger fan are you?
I've seen a lot of the series.
But you're probably nowhere near as diehard as Jay Heat and I clearly are, right?
I mean, okay.
I've seen a few Sentais here and there, but that's because.
All right, so we'll talk about this. My favorite Power Ranger series are or in this order: Dino Thunder,
nice,
Time Force.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Time Force. Okay, so what was the other one? Lost Galaxy.
Oh,
Lost Galaxy is a good one.
Very underrated. In Space.
Oh yeah.
And if I had to pick one more Disney era, SPD.
Oh hell, okay, dude. You and I are more alike than I thought. Then
because I'm sorry, Shadow Ranger. It's a guy with a wolf head.
Can we agree to one thing? Operation Overdrive is the worst.
No. I get where you're coming from.
This is a world where Megaforce
exists.
Okay, you're right. Megaforce is the worst.
The Megaforce Red Ranger that was somehow having dreams about the future, even though they never addressed them.
You're right. Okay, you're right. And let's be honest, that was because of Jonathan Zacker being way too much of a we must be faithful to the Sentai.
Okay. I compare Megaforce to Turbo to where they're technically with their commission with Toei because Toei is in charge of Super Sentai. Where the production team trying to honor their agreement with Toei made the best out of a bad situation. Because Toei only commissioned one season at a time. For the anniversary, they wanted to do Gokaiger, which is what Megaforce is based on, for the anniversary. They wanted to go straight to Gokaiger, but they had to do Goseiger first.
Oh, no, that was fine. But the fact that, as we've seen from other cases, they could do better storytelling with it, but instead, but we didn't have the right writing team. And from people who worked on that season, they were basically you had so many people involved, including Zacker, who were shooting themselves in the foot constantly.
Okay, this is something I want the audience to do. Track down and watch Boku Ranger, which is actually what Operation Overdrive is based on. You watch Boku Ranger and compare it to Operation Overdrive, you will realize the fumble of that season is.
Is that the one that takes place in an alternate reality? That's like
no, that's RPM. That's RPM.
RPM is not bad.
It is. That is phenomenal. In fact, that is one of the most original footage used.
And I'm like, okay, you made that work. And because I like when they do something new, like make it a little darker and less cheesy.
I still crack up when you hear about the guy who originally, he didn't stick around the whole series, but the guy who was the original showrunner, when he's like, he promised he was going to make this dark, edgy series and everything. And then through these things, the Sentai's like, holy crap, I must be insane. Wait, what's down the Zord? Are those freaking eyeballs?
Yeah, the eyeball. That's the one part of that show that I'm like,
Well, they mock it.
Yeah, I hate the eyes.
They play it off. Okay. Like I said, a lot of the seasons are good overall. The only ones I could really say are logistically bad are either due to poor story or production constraints. Those are Megaforce, obviously, Operation Overdrive, and Turbo. Turbo's not even that bad. Turbo's just a downgrade compared to Zeo, but otherwise, Turbo isn't bad.
And Turbo was a clash of ideas.
Oh my gosh, Dave. Just don't autocorrect. Oh my God.
What?
I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
I'll flash this on the screen, but do not autocorrect that.
What? Wait, what happened? What happened?
You don't get the joke.
Jay Heat, private chat that.
Sorry, I didn't see. I can't. I'm not looking at the screen.
Look in the private chat.
Hold on.
Yeah, Jay Heat will private chat.
I'm not.
Oh God damn.
Okay, but still, but with I will just say this though, with Operation Overdrive, the fact that you have the kids and the Rangers wanting to just quit and go back to their life because they were replaced by their predecessors already says why that series is so inferior.
Oh, and Tevia, I'm sorry, Mystic Force is dope.
Oh, Mystic Force is really good, but it's not much of a Power Ranger series.
It's magic.
Okay, the problem with Mystic Force is that like it's Sentai, the Red Ranger's not the main focus. The dynamic is completely different. For one, in Magic Ranger, the Red Ranger is the youngest sibling, so a lot of him being undermined makes sense. Nick is not a rank. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to spoil the whole Sentai for you, but that's what I'm saying. Whereas with Nick and Mystic Force is essentially a good theme song alone. A good show does not make. It had potential. It had momentum, just poorly executed. And we got Rita Repulsa's actress come back.
And they actually made a reference that have it be, well, after she was purified and in space, she became the Mystic Mother.
Like, seriously, Mystic Force has a lot of good moments, but the story is weak.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'll say this. You know what I definitely think was one of the best Ranger things made? Once a Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the obvious one. I mean, that's the best.
Yes.
Yeah. It's and you know what was the worst crossover? The one with Megaforce, where it's like I dreamed about how it's a dream about an Avengers Endgame moment.
And the fact they teased it ever since the first episode.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks for spoiling what's gonna happen. Oh, remember?
They took the year off.
Hey, remember Zordon? I was the Black Ranger. Why am I the Green Ranger? It's a very easy explanation for that.
That's Gojai. That's Gojai. That's not Zordon.
Gosei.
Gosei. I thought it was Zordon, but
no. He was apparently a protege of Zordon.
Yeah,
but that was a case of a throwaway line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could yeah, exactly. That could have been the best Power Rangers across. Yeah, it is right. 100%. The Power Rangers Avengers Endgame, that would have been perfect.
And the fact, again, so many of the actors who got invited were screwed, and those that were also invited but weren't able to were also screwed. They totally botched it.
Contrary to popular belief, Wild Force is not a Disney era production. Wild Force is Saban. It was in transition before going to Disney and New Zealand.
Now, Disney did change some of the stuff at the end.
Yes.
Like they're originally going to have it be the two subordinates were actually Cole's parents.
That would have been weird, but
in the end, because they dropped that and it didn't happen, it then had to be his parents are dead.
So what you're telling me is that the story could have been like this. Hey, Cole, you know that woman you keep punching in the face? That's your mom. That's very Tom King.
Well, to be fair, though, they were under mind control and transformation and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of like Elsa in Dino Thunder.
And Tevye, Tevye, the problem, they could have done that as like an animated movie, but here's the problem with that. They can't do it now because of what happened to Tommy, yeah.
By the way,
do that.
You know what are my favorite lieutenants?
If they recast Tommy Oliver, half the internet would just go into a frenzy.
Yeah, I'll say this. You know what my favorite generals are?
Who?
Goldar, of course. Well, Ecliptor and Zeltrax.
You got it's Zeltrax is just so cool.
I especially as the story went on, his history. I'm glad that wasn't Billy. That was supposed to be Billy.
Oh god, that would suck. My favorite is the Mystic Force guy who became the Wolf Warrior, Liambo.
Oh yeah. But once he becomes a good guy, he doesn't really count.
He's pretty much
I was just saying because I couldn't remember his name. Oh, Korag.
Right. But and I technically Scorpina because she wasn't the original villain until the end.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story.
Now Scorpina, what's her name? Lost Galaxy.
Trakina.
There's a lot of Inas, but anyway, so for Christmas one year, Lad got me the Tommy Oliver comic of like
the return. Yeah,
it's one of those. So Scorpina's in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I turn to him and I go, "Who's this Wonder Woman?" Because she looks like Wonder Woman in one of the moments where like she's drawn. So and he goes, "That's Scorpina." I go, "Oh, that's who that is." That makes much more sense.
Yeah, I still gotta say it. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again when we talk about the Power Rangers comics. It is wrong and yet so well right that Dan Mora drew Rita very sexy as hell. I'm sorry.
Just like that, we are demonetized.
Is there any character that Dan Mora doesn't draw somehow sexy.
But I'm saying no. Rita.
Yeah, this Power Rangers Dune crossover. When
Thank God my webcam is off right now.
but I will say, but okay. I want another Justice League Power Rangers follow up. The fact you had Tom Taylor have it be that Alpha 5 uses one of Zed's grenades to make himself giant and punch a monster.
That was so good. I definitely want more. And
They set it up. They set it up that Brainiac's infected Alpha.
yeah, and you know what? With DC being very crossover happy, like the very fact that Red Sonja is showing up in DC KO shows that they're not above doing other crossovers.
I'm still confused at why it's a Joker with Annabelle and Vampirella.
Everyone's confused about that, bro.
I mean, Annabelle I get. Vampirella?
Lightspeed Rescue is very underrated. Like,
Oh, yeah.
how good that season is.
Oh, I enjoy it, particularly with the Titanium Ranger, where every time he morphed, he got closer to death.
That was the first original Ranger.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would say this. Time Force has, as much as I adore Kimberly, Jen is my favorite Pink Ranger is Jen.
Oh, West is my favorite Red Ranger of all time.
That's a hard one.
That is a hard one. That I ain't gonna lie.
But would you agree about my Pink Ranger comment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kim is much more annoying.
Are we counting red adjacent, like say Crimson or Quantum?
Yep, I'll count that. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
We're using the Forever Red rules.
Then if I had to pick a favorite red, I still say Jason.
Jack from SPD or an honorable mention. Jack from SPD or an honorable mention if we're going to follow the Saban era. Eric the Quantum Ranger.
Okay, true. Oh, actually, Carter's also pretty great.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Carter's a badass.
But Hunter...
he's like Scott Summers. He's basically Power Ranger Cyclops. He's a Boy Scout through and through.
And Hunter, I know that, but there's also other sources saying they are involved with it. So it's like Paramount could be saying that so it doesn't like influence the deal. So
right.
That's what I'm gonna say on that. By the way, granted, Elizabeth Banks was Rita in the movie. Sydney Sweeney next.
Elizabeth Banks didn't do a bad job.
I'm of the opinion that Power Rangers movie is one of the most underrated movies.
Oh yeah,
it's a rip-off of The Breakfast Club and a CGI fight at the end.
Hey, one of the better handlers of autism, way better than the Predator.
I mean, when the Predator wanted autism. Okay, so I would have loved to be in that pitch meeting. Hey, executive. Okay, so Shane Black. Shane, we have this you have this idea for a new Predator movie. Yeah, so picture this.
They want to weaponize autism.
No. You know how the Predators have been like collecting skulls and spines? Well, what if they're trying to hybridize like the genes of Special Warriors? And what if we also make it so autism is the next stage in human evolution?
Oh God!
So why don't we make it so the Predator wants to get autism?
There's a reason that movie is infamous.
Any normal executive would have been, get out and give me an actual plot.
No, any normal executive would have kicked them to the curb and barred them from ever working in the industry again.
True that, but I'm like, what? I mean, when you look at that movie, there was like a lot of interference behind the scenes, like particularly the end, like the hunt part where it ends in a hunt. That was not the original ending. The original ending was like they're supposed to be teaming up with Predators against the Super Predator, but Fox was like, if there's a Predator movie, there has to be a hunt, and I'm like, of course, but it's like the autism part was in the movie from the beginning. Look at Rilo Roberts like raging
because I have autism.
I know. That's the funny part. Oh my God, I'm like.
But I said though, the Billy in that movie was a much better handling.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say this. It was great that they put in the original movie version of Power Rangers. Best version of the original theme, in my opinion. But then you had to screw and mess with it by having Billy going backwards.
The other part that I really liked about that first movie, and we may have to cover it on movie night eventually, is the fact that they had to earn being Power Rangers, like they had to earn this to suit up, and they had to learn how to use the Megazord. It wasn't like they morph instantly. They know how to use the Megazord. No, they have to learn how to do it.
Right, and there was a comic follow-up.
I need that comic follow-up.
Yep. In fact, it came with a small, tiny version. It came with my copy of the movie.
Oh, by the way, Dave says the pretty Youch just spent too much time on 4chan.
Ha!
And Hunter says, I have a question for all three of you. Okay, cool. Two different. I prefer both of you. Yeah. That's what most likely, Hunter. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I'm assuming Hunter. Yeah, Hunter just showed up. So yeah.
Yeah. So he did. But yeah, most likely it's gonna be two at the same time, because also again they're gonna be like, hey, if we have two going at the same time, we could do a crossover. There you go. And it's not, and it wouldn't be a crossover where one gets eliminated. It's just a crossover, and then they go their separate ways. Like anytime two worlds meet each other.
More Crisis on Two Earths, less Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it as a crossover between like they can even make the Smallville characters the crime syndicate.
Maybe.
But
all right, I wanted to ask you guys this earlier, but who's your favorite evil Rangers? Not counting Tommy, evil /
Zenaku. Does he count?
I'll count it.
Psycho Rangers.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
Psycho Rangers are more of an ensemble. They don't really act on their own.
True, but
Psycho
Pink. I was going to say Psycho Pink.
Yeah, but she was the villain of the team up episode. You
still counts. Evil Ranger still counts.
She still counts, and we lost a pink an actual Ranger. The first time a Ranger ever died.
Yeah, well, and wasn't brought back. Well, actually, no. Wes never died in a Time Force. That's true.
He was destined. Well, to be fair, in Lost Galaxy was before Time Force, so I'm saying first.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
She was the first. Now she came back, but I just love the behind the scenes stuff about that. Actress had leukemia, so they wrote her out, and then she became leukemia free, and then she came back for the final episode.
Yeah, and Tavia says, question with Jay Heat, do you think Sonic 3 got snubbed by the Game Awards? Because a lot of people like myself think that.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let me put it this way. Dispatch should have gotten a lot more than it got.
I think Dispatch was too close to the wire.
Yeah, Dispatch is too close to the deadline for contention.
Here's the thing. I know that the Gods thing, the Fury of the Gods got canceled, but here's what you have to understand. Its story was done. As far as I know, it was going to be one season. So I don't know I don't know where that thing came from.
Wait, what?
So Zack Snyder had that Norse mythology animated series. Apparently people are trying to say that got canceled, but I'm like, A, they don't provide a source. That's the hilarious part. And B,
it was a one and done
season. It was a one and done.
Yeah.
What are you talking about here?
Yeah, but okay. Have any of you guys been reading the third Ninja Turtles Power Rangers?
I have the first crossover.
I've read both.
What? Have you read the third one yet?
Mm-mm.
Not yet. I haven't read the third one yet.
Mind if I tell you what happens in the first issue?
Go ahead.
Splinter and Zed kill Splinter.
No, okay.
Okay. Shredder and yeah, okay.
No. Zed kills Splinter.
Oh.
Interesting. I could see that being.
Now they might bring him back, but yeah, trust me. Leo is not taking it well.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And not every series needs a multi-season. Yeah, exactly. And Dave says he thinks the animated Army of the Dead spinoff got canceled.
That did get canceled.
It did. That did. But not the Fury of the Gods. That one was like, it's done.
Yeah, it's basically was a movie split up into episodes.
Pretty much.
And by the way, if any of you guys are fans of mythology, see that, but it's very mature.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of crossovers, apparently from the solicit from Marvel, I'm wondering, you guys excited for Fantastic Four: Planet of the Apes? Yep. That looks really good. But actually, you know what? Let's talk about the DC solicits. I planned on doing that anyway. So
Well, this is going to be an extra long one, isn't it?
Might as well. So I'm going to say this. The first thing I'm going to pre-order is the absolute version of Historia because they put it in it looks like a leather-bound book.
Yep. I've been loving that they're doing these specialties. They're not just making them be oversized just to be oversized.
Yeah, are you sure it was meant to be one season? Yeah, but if they say we'll give you one season and see how it does, and then don't do another season, it wasn't cancel. That's not a canceling. But by the way, so let's go to so the Absolute Universe is going to actually fight the main universe. Now here's the thing. This is probably them under the control of Darkseid or mind control because he does this. So it's like, particularly they're Omega infused. So it's not like they're destined to be.
They're like the Omega Legion.
Yeah, but by the way, I love that armor they have. Oh my god.
Yep. But what you get? They're like the Omega Legion.
Yeah, essentially. And then of course we have this. It's so we're getting Red Sonja fighting Wonder Woman apparently.
Now, by the way, that's Samantha. The bear thing is Samantha Bear or something. And from my understanding,
look, it's Trinity.
Huh?
That was Britt. Britt confused me on a Super Wonder episode. She goes, no, she was on there. It's the Chucky doll. And I go, okay.
I'm surprised they actually put Homelander in this, if I'm being honest.
My guess is they probably made an agreement. You can't have Superman just beat the crap out of him and nothing else.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Superman. And from what we know about Green Lantern, looks like Cal's going to be popping a question, which they've been building toward for the entire
And we're coming up on 600.
Yeah, of all the issue numbers for them to do that makes sense. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Cannot
wait.
wait.
It was made for Batman issue 50.
Mm-hmm.
No, come on. Why?
Jay,
I'm just saying, you've been burned before. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this isn't.
Why did you say that name?
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Belita.
This is Jeremy Adams doing it.
The man that made a name for himself fixing Tom King's mistakes.
The guy who gave Wally a new kid.
And we got
I'm just saying, don't get your
and we
hopes
got
up.
the Sirens Love Hurts thing, which it's
Wait,
like,
is this a Valentine's Day issue?
I think it's going to be talking about like Harley and Ivy's like relationship or something like that, or it's like, you know what it is? This is like Oliver and Dinah are getting married again.
Oh, okay.
It's like okay, that.
Why is it under sirens?
Yeah, it could be that they're putting Dinah on the Sirens because of her voice.
Maybe. Oh, and then we have Leah Williams with Dan Slott doing this live wire thing.
Oh, and by the way, it's Black Label, so it's not canon, so you don't have to worry about that.
What, the Sirens book?
Yeah, it's Black Label.
Oh.
So, yeah. And then Superman Chains of Love. I'm like...
Okay, that's the Valentine's Day. That's the Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And it was Dan Slott involved. I think that this is a special, like a canon special.
And by the way, a new history of the DC Universe, the Dakota incident.
Yep, so they're giving a bit more expansion on it.
Probably gonna talk about it finally. What happened to like Static and all of his people? That's cool. I appreciate that.
Now, here's the thing. Do you think they're going to, since Milestone has made it clear there are two different versions of the Dakota verse, do you think this might actually combine the two back together, or at least acknowledge one existed until this point, then got rebooted?
I could see that. I could see either of those. I could see, and then Absolute Batman. It looks like Absolute Poison Ivy is going to be a villain, and if you saw the portrayal of Absolute Poison Ivy in one of the issues of Absolute Batman, it is terrifying as shit. Like,
Hunter asked an interesting question.
Do you think Scott Snyder's afraid of using Omni?
Afraid? No.
No, it's just probably like they thought of Homelander because that's the one that Superman gets compared to the most.
And I think it's also between the two of them, Homelander deserves the more pounding.
Yeah. So, and for Absolute Wonder Woman, we're getting the debut of Absolute Giganta, and she looks great.
She does.
And so, NJ, guess who's coming back to do the annual for Absolute Wonder Woman? Matea de Ayus. Hell yes! The
Nice.
best artist to ever draw Wonder Woman is going to be dealing with the consequences of her turning into Medusa.
Nice.
So I'm like, yeah. And so Robert, what do you think of the Absolute suit being blue now?
Yay, about time.
Yeah, I'm like, as long as they don't give him the trunks, let this be like its own thing.
And if you watch it, they will.
No, I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to do that. But we're gonna get Absolute Superman versus Hawkman, which that could go either way. But
I want to say very quickly. No. Instead, he wraps the cape around his trunk and around his waist.
no.
I'm kidding.
And we have the other Absolute books. What the hell is this?
What does it say? Which book?
Absolute Flash. Yeah. What is this like creature thing? I probably have to read more, which looks good. Absolute Green Lantern's fun. Batman 6. Yeah. So Robert, what got the 10?
Hush!
Is this series ever going to come out?
Are they going to do the second half?
Honestly, at this point, I don't think they do the second half.
Why do I feel that? Why do I feel
wrap it up?
I was about to say maybe that's why.
I think
hopefully the book is double sized so they can do that.
I wouldn't be surprised. We got Nightwing and Batman and Robin is concluding.
Yep.
Probably for the best.
Yep.
So,
not PKJ's best.
Now here's the thing. I want people to take note of this. So remember when it was announced that Stephanie was doing Wonder Woman 29 and 30, and people automatically assumed that he was done. I want everyone to take note of this. This is the language. Here's how you cannot make that mistake again. This is the language that the solicits will have if this is the end of someone's run. It'll be
or the beginning of the end.
Some variation of find out in the thrilling final issue of PKJ's epic run. They'll start using that terminology, either say to begin the final arc or something like that. That's how you know it's done.
Now,
yeah,
the Batgirl one is a little hazy.
Yeah, Batgirl one. It just from what I see now, right now, it just looks like the end of that arc.
It could be the end of the whole series, but
could, but I don't see like the end of Tate Brombo's run in there.
Yeah.
New creative.
Wait, I can't see. Wait, what issue number is Batgirl?
Number 16.
Batgirl is 16.
Okay, so, well, I'm still surprised that's been lasting as long as it has.
Yeah,
Dang.
Catwoman 84. I will say I got issue 80. I like Catwoman.
Torin Gorbeck is an underrated writer.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised that run is now. Now Poison Ivy's run's been pretty good too. I'm surprised that one's lasted as long as it did.
It looks great, but I still need to check that out. Harley Quinn, not interested.
Half the time, Harley Quinn is just zany nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. Detective Comics 1106, where Batman's infected with a disease. Or something like that. Yeah, at least that's what it looks like here.
Because they started that.
Yeah, exactly. Then we have World's Finest, but he's going to bring in Ultraman and Owlman. Yes, that's a great idea. That's a terrific idea.
I'm so glad that book is still going strong.
Yeah. Action, I got to be honest, can they get to, like, more stuff beyond the young Clark?
I don't think so. I think that the whole point of this book is to be a young Clark.
No, I mean, because Action Comics typically is more than that.
True, but I think this is all done because, remember, Wade prefers to do stuff in the past, so he doesn't have to deal with Clois.
True. And no one wants to deal with Clois. But NJ says Superwoman.
You're lucky. You are lucky I'm not showing my face on the camera right now.
I'm sure you want to show me a finger, Robert. I'm sure you want to show me a finger.
No, more than one.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Superman Unlimited. I'm waiting for this to be collected and trade before I check it out.
It's been good.
All right. Supergirl by Josie Campbell. I've heard that this has also been.
Oh, wait. I'm not seeing anything on my end. Hold on. I'm just seeing. Oh, there it is. There it is. I don't know why. For some reason, it was just showing me the CL logo.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's
Supergirl's been really fun.
it has okay. The Book of L, the book that's not even charting.
At least this was done so they can let PKJ wrap up his stuff because it had been promised to him for a while.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, if that's the thing. Now here's the thing. Again, Wonder Woman 30. Instantly, this is going on my pull list because look at the writer. Now here's the interesting thing about this. I'm gonna read the entire solicit. It says here, with Wonder Woman on the mend, the Amazons have taken charge of her child and future heir to the throne of Themyscira. But then conflict breaks out over Trinity's future. Queen Nubia struggles to keep the peace. Who or what will be sowing these seeds of discord? Strife, probably. Find out the thrilling finale of this two-part tale. So, okay, so there are a couple of like ways that this story could go. Number one, an Amazon oracle gets a vision of the future of what Trinity will indirectly or directly rot on Themyscira.
That could happen.
Or Strife straight up tells them, "Oh yeah, she's gonna lead to your destruction."
Or they find out, hey, her book sucks.
Or yeah, or they.
I'm kidding. That we know that's not gonna happen.
Or here's another direction they could go for.
A new direction, perhaps?
Exactly. It could be. Strife is a god, Tevya. What if they find out that like some part of Steve was involved in Trinity's creation?
I think they would have already known since they made that statue.
They would have. Well. Remember, we don't know when that statue was created.
True.
So there is that, but I think that's the least likely option. But that was just
that'd be too Frank Miller.
Yeah. Oh, and Tevya, no, it's not two. It's not a two-part finale of the run. It says the thrilling finale of this two-part story.
Yeah, because this was only going to be a fill-in.
It's a fill-in issue. Now, here's the thing: could be it's a fill-in issue because Robert can attest. King is burnt out on like everything he's got in the DCU and the comics. So that's why Robert and I are fairly certain he's going to leave the book soon. So what I'm probably
anywhere from 35 to 40, 50 at the most extreme.
Yeah, like this way, it would have to sell dramatically consistently for that to be 50. But likely what's going to happen is this delay, because King has written ahead. Like he even said he like started saying I guess 3 issues ahead when he
writes
started
the script in advance.
Yeah, exactly. So what probably is happening is they have the 2-part story coming in, so he has the extra time to like adjust his outline and the scripts he has like ahead, so that it ends his run, wherever that happens to be.
Yeah, exactly. Could be.
But
we don't know for 100% certain.
We don't know 100%. I still say, yeah, he's leaving. But when, again, 35 to 40 is the most likely range. That's what I'm going to go off of with that.
50 is the most extreme.
50, I don't think he would go for, because that would mean like 2 more years of this. Nah, I don't see him doing that.
Right. But
particularly if he's burnt out.
I'm just saying that's the most extreme.
Yeah. Then we have JSA Year 1. I'm going to pick up the JSA book for this because I hear that like Hippolyta's in this. And yay, we can see Hippolyta as Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Thank you, Mark Wade.
Mm-hmm.
And then Aquaman.
Also, I just don't say JSA Year 1. It's the story that's started to throw a wrench into new history.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But so Aquaman 14, that one's dealing with like we're finally gonna find out what like is going on with Andy,
adult Andy,
because it's like Kid Andy and Mira actually Mira escaped from Atlantis' spell so she could go get Arthur,
and it's gonna involve Poseidon.
Yeah. So for Green Lantern 32, again, it looks like Hal is finally going to pop the question to Carol, as in the case of this question, are wedding bells breaking up that old core? Which this works because Robert has heard that what's going to happen after 600 is Adams is still on the book, but Kyle is going to take the center stage. So
Now, it doesn't say how far after 600. It's just simply saying some going into next year, but 600 is most likely.
Yeah, so it could be Hal goes on his honeymoon, so he takes a break, so Kyle takes over. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because one of the artists did tell me there was a lot more with Kyle coming.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have Green Lantern Corps, which is War of the Worlds, after reanimating his home planet, Echo, or whatever, but I haven't read enough of that. How is the Batman Green Arrow question book?
They hadn't started.
Okay.
This is a book with gaps between releases.
Okay. How about Gargoyle of Gotham? Has anyone read that?
Oh, I have. I'm glad. It's about time it's ending.
Oh, really? It went on for a long time?
No, it's been delayed.
Oh, that's the Raphael Grandpa book. Yeah. Oh, God.
And I'm still waiting on them to finally do Batman the Barbarian.
Yeah, exactly. And the Batman second night, that looks good. Batman Static looks interesting.
Oh, yeah, it was a good start.
And we're getting Vertigo back. That's fun. This is probably all the Vertigo books. And we're getting all the reprints of Batman Year 2 Part 1. It looks like they're reprinting what happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
Yep.
That's interesting. And then we have they're doing one of those unwrapped books for Metal where it's all the line art. That's dope. I love that. And then the part that's really interesting me is Wonder Woman Historia, where it's reprinted as it's gonna have the slipcase and everything, and it's gonna have behind the scenes stuff. So you better believe I'm going to buy that.
Yep. What do you think about all? I gotta say, this is a pretty decent solicitation.
Yeah, this one has some good stuff. This is the first solicitation I've been really excited for a while.
Not as good as last month.
Not as good as last month's, but this one's pretty solid.
Yeah.
The one that's really caught my eye is the Batman Beyond Static Shock, because that's actually a surprisingly good team up book.
Oh yeah, and they were a pretty good team up in the show in that one episode.
Here's the other thing that's kind of interesting when you think about it. Isn't it kind of funny seeing the overwhelming enthusiasm for DC compared to Marvel?
Because Marvel, except for Hulk, Thor, and the Godzilla related books, has been floundering. And Predator has been spinning their wheels.
Yeah, exactly. That's the funny part.
We're ending one X-Men event, and then we're going to lead right into another one.
I know, right? I saw that, and I was like, oh, Robert's going to love this.
Oh, and apparently Jubilee's might become a vampire again.
Why are they doing this?
Why? Are they that desperate?
Yes, they are. The answer is yes to that, Robert. The answer is definitely yes to that.
I mean, I'll be honest. I liked her as a vampire. It was one of the first times that brought her back to prominence.
Yeah.
And I'm still surprised they didn't kill her off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jay, do you remember the Vampire Jubilee era?
I do remember.
Would you agree? That was probably some of the best she's been handled.
It was.
Heck, the Generation X book was great. Her getting Shogo was great.
Yeah, exactly.
I love her being an adopted mom.
Yeah, and then would like both Justice League team become in one. What are you asking, Hunter?
Wait, what? What did he say?
He goes, would like both Justice League teams become in one universe? Oh, are you saying would they ever merge the DC EU and U? No, absolutely not.
No, that one they would have to cherry pick things.
Yeah, and then we're right back to the beginning. And then Cameron says, I mean, at this point, they've done everything, I think. Like, what else can you do with the X-Men unless we go back to no more mutants and decline them?
Oh, by the way, the Messiah trilogy omnibus.
Ooh. The omnibus that I pre-ordered that I'm the most excited for is Earth 2. I got the Earth 2 omnibus. I pre-ordered it. I cannot wait.
I thought you were excited for the Century omnibus.
Oh, that one too, 100%.
Hey, why does it have that last mini though?
Wait, the Earth 2 saga is getting a re-release?
Omnibus, yeah.
And this will be the second volume, right?
No, first.
Oh, right. Second volume hasn't been done yet.
So it will be done, but and I wonder. So for the second volume, do you think they'll include like the other Earth 2 books in there?
Oh, yeah.
No, they would have to. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They will to have any room. Yeah. All they're going to have then is World's End, and then they're going to need that, and they're going to probably include Convergence since that bridges it.
But did you guys see they're releasing an absolute version of Superman: The Man of Steel by John Byrne that's been recolored?
Yep.
That's again, Robert. To your point, I love how the absolute books are actually putting some production behind it.
Yep. It's opposed to just being oversized.
Yeah, exactly. And Tevia says what's even worse is that Spider-Man's and Venom's comics are so bad right now. Actually, you know what? Let's do the Marvel ones. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're here. We might as well do the Marvel ones. All right, so let me pull those up. Marvel. Okay, Marvel full February 2026 solicits. Let's do this. All right, so
just so we can point at them and laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Just so we can point and laugh. Ha ha. Daredevil by Stephanie Phillips. Ha 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 ha.
Hey, what's so bad about Stephanie? I like her.
Daredevil.
That's her favorite character, apparently.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Chip Zdarsky's Captain America. I'm so glad I didn't drop this series because it got really good. I could have been missing out on something good. Punisher is so... Punisher #1 because, again, they're actually relaunching it this time. And then Amazing Spider-Man and Venom Death.
Oh, okay. You want to know what? You want to know what's leading into this? At
What?
the end of Carnage forced out of Eddie Peter's identity.
Oh, okay.
From Carnage, because Carnage never knew.
That's interesting. I thought he knew.
No, he never knew.
Interesting. That's cool.
Because how could he have known?
And then we have the Wolverine series that's leading into Armageddon called Weapons of Armageddon.
And whatever.
Yeah. Godzilla Infinity War, Robert.
Yep, and that's the follow-up that destroys in the Marvel Universe.
Okay, cool.
And Null has taken over Godzilla.
Yeah, that's the cover right here. Hang on, it's loading. It's loading. Look at that.
Yep, that's how it ended.
That is so cool. And then the book that I'm the most excited for is Joshua Williamson on Iron Man.
Yep.
Come on. Come on.
Yep, and thankfully they took back Madam Mask from the Spider books.
Yeah, because she works better as an Iron Man character. Then we have the Ultimates deciding, okay, so we're going to end this universe. Which I'm like, okay.
Because they're killing Amazing.
Yeah. Cyclops is getting his own series, which I'm like, okay, you could probably do that. And it would do well to redeem Cyclops's like image because comics don't love him.
Nope. 97 did a lot of good for him.
Oh yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, "Oh, Cyclops is cool."
Yep.
Storm is pretty good. I've been really enjoying Storm.
Right.
And then X-Force. None of these X-Men books are really drawing me in. I gotta be honest.
Well, when did you see the one I was talking about was Jubilee?
Yeah, I know. Inglorious X-Force, Halverine. Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not interested. Oh, there you go. Why? Oh, it's Morbin time.
And how could she have a relapse when she was cured?
Yeah, because they don't know what they're doing with the X books, Robert.
Wait, who's writing it? Who's writing that issue?
Wait, Uncanny X-Men. Okay, right here. It looks like Gail Simone.
Gail! Have you no shame? No, of course you don't.
Of course you don't. This is the woman that wants Wonder Woman to throw her maxi pads at villains, okay? She has no shame.
Huh? But she gave us Wonder Woman 600.
Yeah, I believe HBO delays the Lantern series are going to blame. No, they're not going to blame Gunn.
What? Who
No,
said that? Who said that?
Hunter.
Why?
They're not going to blame Gunn. By the way, I love Dave. Leave her alone, Jared Leto. Yeah, exactly. It's Morbin time. Sorcerer Supreme. Robert, tell the audience the Steve Orlando story you told me.
I asked him, how did you react about that? He's like, marketing. Because I'm like, you do know everyone was going to figure out it was you, right? And it was Wanda once you were writing. He's like, marketing.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Orlando has been doing the Scarlet Witch book for a while. I read the most recent one. It's really good.
And as soon as they teased that Wanda was one of the potential candidates, but he was writing it.
Yeah, I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen there.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, it was marketing.
Logan, Black, White, and Blood. That looks fun. Deadly Hand of Kunlun. Psylocke Ninja.
What? Again, look at what Tom Brevoort is doing. He's trying to make up for lack of sale by just pouring out X books.
Yeah, that's what Marvel does. They flood the market. That's the reason why they're the industry leader. Particularly nowadays.
Because if you notice, DC may have more at the top 10, but they don't have the most overall.
Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, that's leading into the upcoming Queen in Black.
Hey, Robert. Dungeons of Doom.
Well, look who's writing it.
Oh, and Ben Percy.
See, that's why I'm not. That's why I'm not mad about it.
Okay, I take back what I said. Those are good writers. I'll take back what I said because I'm sorry. The Predator series and Punisher have made me a Benjamin Percy.
His Wolverine run, his Ghost Rider run.
The dude, if you want to read the most hyper masculine series ever,
Meet the Man, and you'll see why.
He, according to Ben Percy, he and his friends, because he used to live in Hawaii, they would go into the woods and play Predator.
Yeah, and I'll say this: if you meet him, he has this kind of voice, and he's jacked. He is the not Liam Sharp, Bo Smith of this generation.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, look, it's everyone's favorite series, Amazing Spider-Man.
Or we're just spinning our wheels until we reach 1,000 finally.
Yeah, and look at how many Spider books. We all knew Spider. Why? Look at the cover.
All new what?
All new Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. Look at how many Gwens.
Crisis on Infinite Gwen.
What are they doing? Wait, I have to read this. So what is this? Gwen's new band competes in the Battle of Bands, but things get more dangerous when they bargain win. Someone unexpectedly will take the stage by storm. Will Gwen or band survive? All right. Oh, and look, it's Mary Venom. Yes, that's what I'm taking a calling this. Mary Venom. And by the way, Tavia asked, why can't Spider-Gwen just go away? Because she was in the movie. That's why.
And she's not a bad character. They will sooner get rid of Silk than they will get rid of Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. Fantastic Four. Oh, look, it's
Marvel
the most
Rivals
popular.
variant.
It's the most popular Marvel rival skin.
It only appeared in one episode of Fantastic Four, the animated series. It only
and twice in the comics.
Yeah,
True.
but by the way, Fantastic Four, I've been enjoying that. I'm like, okay, this is actually fun. I'm liking this. And
Is that what the book? You mean the book?
Yeah, the book.
Yeah, what the hell happened with them on One World Under Doom?
Hey, Jay Heat, do you know what's the biggest screw up Marvel has done in the most recent year?
Let's see. They had Captain America say Hail Hydra.
No, this year.
Allow me to get. It was a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Having Dr. Doom take over the world and making it boring. How do you do that?
This is why I let drop Marvel Comics. I tried.
You know what? You're right.
Again,
how
Jay
do
Heat,
you make that a boring idea?
Jay Heat, you really should read Philip K. Johnson's Hulk and Al Ewing's Thor.
I read Al Ewing's Hulk and Thor runs, but after
no, his Thor run is still going, dude.
Wait, it's still going? I thought he finished it.
No.
It's a new chapter.
It's going to be a 3-chapter story.
Okay.
Hey, dude, at the very end of Immortal Thor, it said Mortal Thor.
And then
Okay,
we
I'll
have
catch up.
Hulk, which I'm enjoying that. Planet She-Hulk is actually not bad. I'm actually enjoying.
And who's writing that?
Well, it doesn't mean I trust her as a Daredevil writer, Robert. Let's be clear on that.
I still love it. The whole thing is, Bruce told her, just stay on Scar for 5 days, and I'll be back. And then she's like, come.
6 days later, 7 days
Ah!
later. So
She is mad.
I love that. Oh, X-Men of Apocalypse. Look at all these X books that aren't going to sell.
Now that's the low one. And once again, much like Onslaught Reborn, completely takes everything that's been done with the post of that story stuff and just ignore it.
Robert, is Rogue kissing Carol Danvers? I mean, is Gambit kissing Carol Danvers, Ms. Marvel?
Read the solicit.
Where?
Further down. Further down.
Okay, yeah. The shocking conclusion.
Now remember, this is the Rogue that was with Magneto.
Marvel.
So she shouldn't be with Gambit anyway.
Yeah, and then we have a bunch of reprints, which I'm like, okay, that's fun. Keep doing that. 1776, I'm hearing is good.
Oh, yep. Oh, you know what I love about that is?
What?
It's a unique situation. You know, remember how they say, but wait, we know that we go back in time and change it. Yes, but that's not what's happening here. It's Morgan Le Fay is already living through it, and so she is taking part of it in the past already in her own timeline.
That's cool. And then Thor. Here's the thing.
So changes can happen.
Yeah, here's the thing, Jay. It is Thor is actually again continuing right here with Al Ewing. Moral Thor. New Avengers is great. You guys need to read New Avengers.
Don't you mean Thunderbolts at first?
I know. Spirits of Vengeance. I've never been a Ghost Rider guy. Oh,
the end.
The end. 2099.
I'm surprised they're bringing that back.
What, the end 2099? They've been doing 2099 books for a while.
No, the end part.
Oh, no. That's just, they're just using that brings about the end of 2099 so they can go into 2100.
Yeah. Oh. I'm getting this. The new Predator series.
Oh, yep.
I'm getting that. Who's writing that? Let me see. Jordan Morris. I'll give it a shot. That's good. That looks like a lot of fun. This is Captain America Aliens is so good.
The first issue was great.
It is ridiculously good. Like
now, Frank Thierry is a very hit and miss writer, but he's definitely a dedicated writer.
And then there's a Jar Jar comic.
Look at the writer.
Oh, okay.
That makes it all right.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll take that. I'll allow it.
If they're having the actor involved, it's a-okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The day they actually try to pull a Jar Jar meme is the day.
They're not going to do that.
Wait, is this... are they finally doing volume 2 of the Kelly Thompson run? Yes!
Yay.
Yes. I have volume 1 of this. It is spectacular. They're doing volume 2. Yes. Any of you guys that have not liked Carol Danvers in the past, read her by Kelly Thompson.
Oh, it was the longest of that run.
Yeah, it's so good. And the Messiah trilogy omnibus.
Told ya.
Oh yes, this is the one.
Well, I already have the hardcover, so I don't need it.
Wait, is this is the run that has like Second Coming, right?
Yes, that's the middle story.
Oh,
even though the sad thing is though, that story is completely irrelevant to the overall Messiah stuff.
Even though it's my favorite X-Men story.
Right, but would you agree with that, Jay Heat? Second Coming is the most irrelevant of the Messiah trilogy.
It's a fill-in, but it moves the story
a little.
Punisher Fury Omnibus by Garth Ennis.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that was a thing.
The Crimson Empire.
Yeah, all right, there you go. Spider-Man Omnibus or Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus.
The Dennis O'Neil run.
Yep.
Which, by the way, the Denny O'Neil run, that's the era when we started getting the perpetual Parker luck.
Okay.
That's where it became, that's the point where he has an affair with a married Betty.
Why? Oh, look. Toilet paper. It's toilet paper.
Wait. Did you react to the Planet of the Apes Fantastic Four?
Not yet.
Well, that should have been, if we're in a trade, we must have missed it.
Yeah. I'll go up. I'll go up. I have an issue from this, and
I have the 3 omnibuses that collected.
Of course you do. It's probably signed, isn't it? Yeah.
Dude,
No.
you love getting me with Lois. I love getting you with my autograph.
I have the autograph of Gal Gadot, so suck it.
I have George Perez.
Okay, you win.
I'm sorry, you can't.
I will never be able to top that.
You're fighting a losing battle, Jared.
All right, so wait, Fantastic Four. I think it was at the top.
It was one of the very. It was the first story on there.
So how are they going to do Fantastic Four: Planet of the Apes? That's going to be.
Well, how are they able to do Green Lantern: Planet of the Apes?
Wait. What did they do?
Green Lantern: Planet of the Apes.
You didn't know that?
No. By the way, so here it is. Marvel's first family fantasy stuff stranded on the Planet of the Apes. In this issue, the Fantastic Four cross paths for the first time with Cornelius, Zira, Ursus, and of course Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas.
But they won't be going alone. Familiar foes in the Marvel universe have set their sights on Ape City. Oh, it's cool.
Oh, and get this. In the Green Lantern one, guess what DC villain comes to that world?
Gorilla Grodd?
Yep.
I'm like, there's
Well,
no
that
way
was
they
obvious.
don't do that.
Also, there was Star Trek Planet of the Apes, which actually is an interquel between the first 2 Planet of the Apes movies. They also have done Planet Kong on the Planet of the Apes.
You know what was my favorite Green Lantern crossover?
Great Star Trek Green Lantern.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes. That the fact that they tied in Blackest Night and then had it where like all of a sudden Starfleet has lantern rings.
I would say my favorite is Legion Star Trek because it reveals that I forget the guy's name, but one character from Star Trek, Charlie X, and Vandal Savage are the exact same person, but they went different directions.
That's cool. So they went in a new direction.
And get this, but you know who they captured and utilized to give them an advantage? Q.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But yeah, you have and I love it. You have it be Kirk is actually making flirting with Night Girl, and she's just like, forget it, it's never gonna happen.
I like that. That's cool. But yeah, so those are the solicits overall. DC kicked Marvel's ass with this.
Can we agree to that?
Yeah. And,
Marvel got like shotgunned. Actually, you know what? I have a perfect clip to demonstrate. This is what DC did to Marvel.
Dude, this is the longest we've done they
used to be way longer than this. I remember seeing these being like 3
all right,
hours.
longest as I've been on.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, because we talked about the SnyderVerse, we went on a massive tangent about
Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers.
And then we were like, okay, there you go.
By the way, Godzilla Ninja Turtles.
That exists?
They just started it.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. And yes, we're going to have mutant kaijus.
That's interesting. I dig that. But so you know what I recently completed, which was so good? The Emma Frost series, The White Queen.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. As much as I love the guy's artwork, DNA has the most annoying signature on its covers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When it stands out that much that it will take your eyes from the great artwork.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I can't think of anyone with such as an annoying of a signature.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you know Walt Simonson's signature is a Brontosaurus?
Really?
Or Stegosaurus.
That's cool. I like that.
Because he wanted to be a paleontologist, couldn't, but he decided to put in his signature.
That's actually really cool.
I know, random. I know. You're like, what am I gonna do with that information?
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
You're like Von Blazer.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. Speaking of Marvel and DC, did you guys read Deadpool Batman crossover? Oh, I still haven't, so we're not going to discuss
He said
we won't spoil it for you, Jared.
We won't. I will say, though, it is the better of the two.
That's what everyone's been saying, honestly.
Because Zeb Wells played it way too safe.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's a good place to leave it. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Robert, where can we find you and what we got coming on your channel?
Link down below, and hopefully this weekend I'll be getting the finishing up Dispatch.
Hell yeah. Jahid, how about you?
Dispatch coming out to the channel. I want to say I'll upload episode 6 and 7. I may decide to do episode 8 as a separate episode. I haven't decided yet. Also, New Direction versus Heroes in Crisis. I want to get that pushed forward for before Thanksgiving, maybe Sunday or Monday. And I'm doing another collab with Robert.
Still waiting on you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and push that for. Let's go ahead and push that for next Saturday.
Okay.
After Thanksgiving.
Okay, that sounds good. My parents will be back by then.
All right.
As for me, tomorrow, we're still doing movie night, so we're going to do Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and then
the one that got the most underrated of the last batch.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's see what else. Oh yeah, and Britt and I will be comparing Superman and Wonder Woman to Clea and Doctor Strange. That's gonna be really fun. And for Amazon answers, I'm trying to remember, what did we agree on for that topic? I have to check. I'm going to check right now, as a matter of fact. But in the meantime, it's like...
Oh, and Super Pals.
Oh, yeah. And Super Pals, Robert and I are going to be returning to talking about Elseworld Superman.
Speaking of which, well, it's going to take a while, but we will eventually get to talk about our Redeemable. Because, Jared, tell them what you found out without spoiling.
How do I describe this?
What Injustice should have been.
Yeah, it's the better version of Injustice with evil Superman. I'm just going to tell
you.
Probably
I would say it's hands down, so far, best evil version of Superman. Better than Omni-Man, better than Homelander.
Yeah, exactly. And then before I leave, Dave says, so this will be the most optimistic Snyder fans have been since GSJL. Maybe the last chance to return before the actors have to play Kingdom Come versions. Yeah, that's the thing. If it's going to happen, it's got to happen soon.
Yep.
So, that's going to be a fun thing to check out. But anyway, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. And Steve Trevor, Steve Never, he belongs to the bottom of a hydraulic press going into a grinder. Zoe Max about for life. I will see you guys later. We are the Comics League. Bye-bye.